Governor Sule. So they say charity begins at home. So I was wondering that you probably would have fought for a Governor Almakura, except if you say that the choice of Professor Nentawe Iwada was that of President Tinubu. That would have an overriding political influence on what the governors or any member of the party thinks.
First and foremost, because of the challenges with the network, I didn't do what I was supposed to do from the beginning. That is really to congratulate our Falcons for the wonderful job that they have done to win the 10th WAFCON finals. So I think for us in Nasarawa State, from our Amazons, we have 4 players there. And I want to congratulate all our players. I want to congratulate the entire and the good people of Nigeria, for this victory. Now, going back to your question, Sheun, indeed, we will have loved to have one of ours from Nasarawa to be the chairman, no doubt about it. But the truth of the matter is that you have to look at so many other considerations. We have to look at also what is good for the president, what the president feels comfortable with, and the rest of that. And I think at the end of the day, the choice of, and this gentleman we're talking about is also a gentleman that will resolve so many other issues, for us. As you know, Plateau is a much bigger state when it comes to even the voters. Plateau has over 2.7 million voters. Nasarawa has just 1.8. So you take that also into consideration. Then you take the experience of the gentleman who has worked for INEC. He has been a professor. He has PhD in digital ICT and things like that. So he has so many other reasons. But the most important of them all is he is very, very much close to the president, and he's somebody the president trusts, and the president believes in his loyalty. So you have to take all those considerations. So yes, the state will have wished to have Tanko Almakura or any other person from the state, but at the end of the day, we have to also embrace the realities of the day. So he's also our son. The professor is somebody that is very close to us here in Nasarawa State, and we admire him and we congratulate him.
But in all of this, would you say now things are now politically balanced, considering now that the former governor of Kano State, who was the chairman, and there are agitations within the North Central, are all of those agitations doused?
The agitations have been doused, for the fact that the position has returned to the North Central. Remember, even in the North Central, we had so many other contenders. We had so many aspirants that were interested in it. So we had people from Benue that have shown interest. We had people from Niger that have shown interest, and so it was highly competitive. At the end of the day, we believe, number one, it is balanced, that now we have somebody from the state, and it is also balanced that somebody from the other part of the religion. So that way people will not feel that they have been neglected. They are no longer as part of the APC family. So now the APC family is complete.
Interesting. Can the APC face the likes of the PDP, the ADC, in what is turning to be a very intense political terrain now? The opposition seems to be very serious, especially the ADC. And if one can trust anything that went on in the PDP in the past days, it does look like there's a progress in their leadership crisis. They've made progress in trying to resolve some issues within their leadership problem. But is your party, you are able to realize that there are real pains of the Nigerian people, which the opposition has been hammering on, and whether or not your party is able to fulfill the dreams and the aspiration of many Nigerians?
Well, bottom line, you have two-sided part of the questions. One, you mentioned that they are getting their acts together. So will APC be able to address them? I think the question is the other way around, that the APC is getting stronger every day. The opposition of all the parties are losing more and more elected officials who are returning to APC, because every time you hear people who are elected, either governors or senators or House of Reps or House of Assembly, the direction is all of them are just returning to APC, to the point where other parties are crying foul that Nigeria is being turned into a one we are going to an APC state, Nigeria as a whole, or we are the ones that again that will be afraid. So that is on one part. Now the second part of your question is about the changes that Nigeria is facing, and then the work that we have been able to do. As you have seen, more and more are being laid out, more and more efforts are being put together by the governors, by the legislators, by Mr. President himself and the federal government. And most of them are going to address the concerns and the feelings of the people, the suffering of the people. Most of these programs are targeted towards that direction. You have seen the efforts in agriculture. You have seen the efforts in the oil and gas sector. You have seen the efforts in humanitarian services. You have seen the efforts actually with the supply of buses, and you have seen the efforts with the civil servants, with the salaries that are being increased and the rest of that. You have seen the efforts in education, in health. So I don't think it is something that you can say we are not making progress. I think APC and the government are making very big progress. It is normal for people to will continue to do more, because that's the reason why we're here. We're here to do more, especially when things are going in the right direction. States are getting more and more funding. Federal government is getting more resources. And as a result of that, we are doing more, and everybody understands that we are doing more. Some of us get commendations even from past governors. Said, for instance, we had our first civilian governor. With due respect, I have done more than any other governors put together combined. This is the statement he did, and he looked at all the other areas, whether it is in infrastructure, or is on roads, or is in education, or, so that is exactly the direction we are going.
Let me take you to the issues relating to Benue-Nasarawa border issues. That's Professor Zach Gundu, whom we understand that you have dragged to court based on the statement that was credited to him. And the allegations about Nasarawa communities harboring those who are killing or those who killed innocent citizens in Benue State. And those who are asking that your government and Nasarawa should be able to be transparent with Benue people on the real situation of things. And they were worried that you've since gone to court on this matter.
First and foremost, I did not go to court. What happened is, when we saw that kind of information, we saw how provocative it was. We saw actually that it will, instead of solving problems, it will end up creating more problems. So we sent a letter to him, and asked him to view his position being a vice chancellor and actually withdraw that kind of statement, because the statement coming from a learned person like him will not help anybody. And I spoke with his governor about the statement, that he made. And based on that, we wrote to him. And from my understanding, he's trying to come to me to apologize about what he said. Shaun, when anything happened between the Benue State governor and I, even the former governor, Otom, we continue to exchange security information. Yes, it's just like saying somebody attacked Lagos, he came through Ogun. Where else will the person come through? Is he going to come through the sea? So the person has to come through Ogun, because Ogun is the only state having border with Lagos. So it's similar to this. Some of these people coming from the north, they end up coming through Nasarawa, but we don't entertain them. So the statement that I didn't enjoy and I didn't think was fair to us was to say that we were even housing the people. These people don't need house. Those are the people that just come in through the bushes, and they go from one place to the other, and they attack Nasarawa as well. It's not like we end up, because they kidnap our people, we go after them. At one point, everybody who will remember when I came in as a governor in 2019, we found some of these people actually at a camp in O2 in total local government. I had to visit the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, who assisted us and gave us what you call joint operation from the air, from land, from sea. That's we dislodge those kind of people, So this kind of security, who is actually housing the ones who are attacking Zamfara? Who is housing the ones who are attacking Katsina? Who is housing the other people who are attacking? I think that's a very unfortunate statement for anybody to know. These people just travel, and they just go. And that's what it is. But I'm happy to hear that the professor has actually come and see me and apologize. And I said that I will not see him until he apologizes publicly, rather than just coming inside the office to apologize to me, because that is not going to count. And I think people like him should actually make the proper statement that will unite the people, not end up dividing the people. That's the idea. But I didn't go to court. I did not go to court.
But the fundamental issue here is whether or not Nasarawa is able to come clean and say how it's going forward to ensure that the communities in Nasarawa are not used to harbor criminals and elements who are killing people in Benue and using it as a place where as a safe haven, they hide there, they attack, and they retrieve.
No, definitely. These people don't stay in Nasarawa. Sheun, if you look at the way these people operate, definitely they don't come to stay.
All right, yeah. Well, we'll try to resolve that and get a few things out of it. We'll go to another break, and when we return, we'll be having our closing conversations with my guests on the program. We'll be right back, everyone. Thanks so much. Let's get back to Governor Abdullahi Sule in Lafia. Governor, the question about how to end the cycle of violence and insecurity within that axis, and those who say community policing, state policing, those options, have you and your colleague, Reverend Father, earlier, sat down recently to look at the best ways out?
We're having serious problems here because of the rain, actually, that had taken place here. So, but the bottom line is, yes, we have sat down many times to discuss, as you have seen. When the killings in Yelwater happened, I was the first to visit Yelwater. And when the president actually, I visited Yelwater, and then I visited the governor in Benue in order to discuss what's the way out. In addition to that, during the Northern Governors meeting in Kaduna, we discussed at length, on the issues of this security in the north, especially at the border. That is not only with Benue, we discuss also the issue with Taraba, we discuss also the issues with Plateau. So the issues of security between borders are issues that the governors continuously sit down and discuss within themselves. If you remember with Autumn, I had meetings 3 times, joint meetings that we sat down with the community leaders, traditional rulers, and all these ethnic groups, as well as every other person involved in order to resolve this matter. But Mr. President set up a committee, and I remember you interviewed one gentleman concerning the committee, and the committee has not started sitting yet, but it is very important for that committee to sit. And the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, also set up another committee of former generals. They have visited most of the governors. At least they visited me, and I asked them if they visited the other governors. They say yes. And they visited other community leaders in order to come up with solutions. So there are solutions that are being sought from different angles. It's not just between Governor Ali and I think it is between so many other groups. And by the grace of God, we'll find solution to this unnecessary and mindful killers that are just roaming the streets.
Let me take you back a bit to politics. Are you concerned that some northern heavyweight and leaders and elites within the north have recently adopted the APC as a party of choice ahead of 2027?
I don't know what you mean by concern. The truth of the matter is that if you look at the heavyweights that you are talking about, are mostly people who are living either SDP or PDP or the other political parties and joining into a new political party, therefore weakening the PDP or weakening the other parties. So will that be something exciting to an APC or not? I would say, instead of being concerned, we should be excited, actually, that instead of having a force in one area, they are being split into different groups. So that's the way that I look at it. If you talk about concern, to be honest with you, there has not been, and I have not had it, I know that about it, either at our APC governors meetings or even the general meetings where there are more people, or the stakeholders meetings or so. It is normal to have opposition. There is nothing wrong about it.
And this is the reason why, Governor, this is the reason why I said so. When you have platforms where non-partisan northern leaders and opinion shapers and religious leaders are now taking sides because of what they feel as the non-progressive movement of the nation at the moment in terms of governance. And they say, look, we're looking elsewhere for succor. And that's why I say whether you're concerned. And we've heard that the National Political Consultative Group in the North has adopted the African Democratic Congress as its preferred platform to challenge the APC. And that's the reason why I'm asking. You're a leader of the APC.
You will continue to receive this kind of association. That some association. Yeah, Sheun, I heard you, but I'm saying it is normal to hear all these big names, Association of Democrats, Association of Litigants, Association of this, all joining together. We recognize it. I mean, I think Nigeria should be used to that now. Who are these people? When somebody, we are an association of this, and therefore we recognize this, it's just normal. Maybe it's just within that one PA of one of the other people will just call the paper. Today you have seen the damage that somebody, just one person sat down from his room and generated an AI where he said our bridge actually got broken. One day I was nothing like that. Nothing ever happened like that. So it's the same thing with this politics of ours. You will just have somebody, who will sit down in his room, get a few people together and say we are the Democrats youth of northern Nigeria. Therefore, we are supporting this. And then you get concerned. So how do you get concerned about that? I think as far as we are concerned, we continue to put our efforts together. The bottom line is that we do have some people, that's the one that even give me more concern. We have some of our friends from APC who were formerly CPC, for instance, who have split, and now they are joining opposition. But they are not many, there are very, very few of them. And some of them are not very much known politicians. They are professionals in what they do, and they decided to do that. So that's the one that you can even think about that is this. But some of these associations endorsing this, we have over 200 associations endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and endorsing the APC. Okay, so what do they bring about?
There are questions, though, Governor, as to the performance, or as to the manner in which the country is headed, or the direction the country is headed. And the president even mentioned it. Let me remind Nigerians what the president said. And he was warning that leaders of the party have to go back home and make Nigerian people feel. If the president doesn't feel that there is a problem, he probably wouldn't say that. Let me remind Nigerians of what the president said at the APC NEC meeting.
The essence of our party is not forgotten. I thank all of you outside there. It is not easy to navigate the storming water of economic instability. Now that the economy is stabilized, no other fear for the country except upward movement and sustained growth, I can assure you. Nigerians are still complaining at grassroots. To you, the governors, you have to wet the grass more. And lead the way in delivering progressive change to Nigerians.
You heard the president, Governor Sule. The president is aware that Nigerians are feeling the pinch and the pains. So the question is whether or not you will be able to consolidate as a party to the promises your party made to the Nigerian people ahead of 2027. Because the tsunami of the opposition is coming, and it looks like one that your party may not be able to withstand. Brace up.
You know,
for the impact.
When you have some big terminology. You have some big terminology, tsunami, you have this tsunami, hurricane, and all that. You have this kind of terminologies all coming facing the APC. You know, the bottom line is that listen to what I heard what the president said. I was there. And I was there, even the one that was not televised, you know, the day he met only with the governors and he made the statement to us. That's the night before we went there. And he didn't say anything different from what he told us as the governors. Only that this time around, there were other people at the next meeting when he said that, please, you know, that the economy has changed. We are now stabilized. The economy has stabilized. And what does he mean by that? Let me even give you one area. You know, if you look at the FAC distribution for the last 3 months, they have all improved significantly. You know, and then in last month, it's public information. Last month, actually, in fact, not even last month, this month, you know, the month has not concluded. You know, the total sharing was about 1.8 trillion. You know, so remember, we used to share about 600 billion. So we're sharing 3 times what it used to happen. So what the president says is say, wet the grass. You know, so go and find other opportunities to take care of the people so you can touch them. If you have been given 1 or 2 trucks of fertilizers, give 10. If you have been supporting teachers with this, support them more. Some of the civil servants, support them more. Whatever you are trying to, that's the idea, you know. So we were even more details the night before, you know, because of this, and that's the pictures you are showing. So that's really what happened, you know, and that's the direction that we are going. For us in Nasarawa, we are going to have an emergency ESCO meeting on there, and when we have that meeting, there are going to be more support in the area of security, in the area of civil servants, in more gratuity that we are saying. So all these monies that are coming for us in Nasarawa State, we save them. We don't take them and spend. And out of that money, we are going to do this. The same thing with the local government. They have seen significant improvement. We are going to discuss with them. What are you going to do, local government? What are you going to do to your workers? All that meeting we're having this Tuesday. And when we have the meeting, these are the issues that we'll address.
Governor Sule, yeah. Have you and your colleagues, because the kind of opposition that we are seeing today and the coalition, the committee formed by these politicians is unlike the past election cycle that we have seen. Have you been able to discuss within your ranks in the APC what this means for 2027?
Yes, we have discussed, and it is not something actually that I will disclose here. You know, as they are planning, we are planning. You know, we're in politics. We're in this and that. We are not just sitting down watching them planning. You know, so as they plan, we plan. And at the end of the day, you know, the better plans will take over. So now it is as they are planning, we are planning, we keep getting more and more governors from PDP joining us. Very soon you will hear another governor joining us. You hear every day, you know, senators that are decamping and coming back to APC. Every day you hear, these are all part of the plans. They are not happening just by magic. They are not happening just by...
But Governor Sule, apologies to Button. Yes. The ADC only yesterday released a statement that the reason why some of the governors or some heavyweights are not able to come to ADC now is because of a witch hunt by your government of the APC. And there are those who remember that in the days of Goodluck Jonathan, prior to the 2015 election, there were a lot of defections that happened. But Jonathan lost that election to Buhari. All this we see is being called political facade.
I don't underrate anybody. And from my background, from my training, from my family background, I don't insult anybody, not even the opposition. I don't insult them. I don't underrate them. I don't make negative statements about any one of them. And for me, that is me. That is based on my own upbringing, my own background, my own professional, my own career, and the rest of that. But the bottom line is that what you are saying is that they must find something else to say. Jonathan's era is completely different from this era. We didn't see what we are seeing during Jonathan that we are seeing today. We didn't go through the challenges that we are having during Jonathan that we are going today. The caliber of people that came together to form the alliance of the APC, ANPP, ABGA, ACN, CPC, as well as, all these other parties, the new PDP and the rest of that. It's not the kind of thing that you are seeing in this new opposition, and the individuals that we are talking about, they are also different from what you are seeing, today. So I'm not underrating them. I'm not saying they are nobody.
Right.
I'm not saying anything about them, but I don't think it is anything that is giving any one of us lack of sleep. Believe me.
Thank you so much, Governor Sule. I was going to mention to you, I've seen Governor Sanwo-Olu do something like that, and I've physically witnessed Governor Umba of Enugu State also having cameras all around Enugu State, literally in part of the forest in the interior. Maybe this is something Nasarawa and Benue can also consider. There is a large room in Enugu, and the capital city, where you can literally see what is going on in the whole of the local government of Enugu State. I think that might be a consideration. But thank you so much, Governor. Always a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ashon. Always nice. I'm sorry about that. We are a state of agriculture. So when we have rains, we are happy. And then unfortunately for you, the rains are not good because the network is bad.
Thank you so much.